bookstore the other day, and a guy was up there talking about getting his Bible thumb indexed, and he said, "Oh, well, I'll thumb index yours for $10. I said, "Well, that sounds like a plan. Let me go get it." And I've been preaching out of it. I went out there to the truck, got it, handed it to him, and I took my notes out of my Bible before I handed it to him, and that note, I laid it over in my Bible case, and it was laying on top, and I said, "Okay, well, just stick it over there and zip it up." And I got my other Bible, well, I opened up the Bible over there, and it opened up over there to Daniel chapter 5. Believe it or not, the notes that I took out of my Bible was over around Daniel chapter 5. And beyond a shadow of a doubt, I think it's what the Lord had me to preach here today. I believe Brother Lyons may have touched on this. I was listening to the revival, but I believe Brother Lyons might have touched on this the other day. But y'all know a couple of weeks ago I gave testimony about getting pulled over, and the cop had ripped my ticket up, and the ordinances that was against me, and I had this message right here that day, when I got pulled over that day, and the handwriting on the wall, if it's that's the text I'm going to use, is the handwriting on the wall.
Yeah, bless you, King. Help you, King.
If you would like to stand for the reading of the word, Daniel chapter 5. Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords, and he drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple, which was in Jerusalem, what the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines might drink therein. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes and his wives and his concubines drank in them. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and silver, of brass and of iron, and of stone. Verse number 5, in the same hour came forth the fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed. Then his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. And that's all I'll be reading right there if you want to sit down. As Brother Jason was talking about this morning about how Satan's got a blinder on people. If he can keep that blinder over the eyes of the people, we know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, if Satan can keep that blinder upon their eyes. And I've always thought about it of a set of horse blinders. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You ever seen a horse going down through you go by Martha Washington Inn, and they got the little horse character running around. They got them horse blinders on them horses, amen. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, honey? When they put them horse blinders over on the sides of the horses, that's the way when they're walking down the street, honey, all they see is what is in front of them. They don't see what's going on right here to the left-hand side of it. They don't see what's going on over here on the right-hand side. All they see is what's smack dab in front of them, amen. And I don't know what Satan might have up in your life right now. I don't know, don't care how long you've been coming to church. I don't care how long you've been a member of the church, amen. But we all know that old man likes to come back in and check on us and see how we are, amen. And when he comes back, if we ain't been reading and praying and studying the Word of God and living the life we ought to live, amen, he'll come back in, he'll slip back in our life and rob us of our joy and of our salvation, amen. And I'm a firm believer right now, because old Belshazzar, as he was sitting there, he was already, he was made king, and when he came in there, boy, he really thought he was somebody else, amen. You can read that word right there, honey. And when you read that, they was sitting there just a party and living it up, amen. They were drinking their wine and it just showed how big and how great he was, amen. When they was living that way, he was living it up, amen. But I believe that God sent a finger down, amen, with a writing on the wall, what was going on in his life, and amen, and when he seen the writing on the wall, amen, he knew that he was going to die and go to hell, amen. It scared him to death. We're talking about ain't nobody got no fear of They ain't got no condemnation in how they live and what they do in life. Amen. But I know one thing, when he saw the writing on the wall, honey, it feared and scared him to death, honey. He thought he was just finished for, and he was talking to Sister. If you want to go back and read, you find out the definitions and all that. Amen. You can find out that, you know, we can go down here to the doctor and get put on all this medicine and to tell them what's wrong with us and what's going on in our lives. I'll be honest with you. I believe if we get the sin out of our life, amen, and let the Lord come back in our life, we wouldn't have to go to the doctors to do all these things that we do. And I'm not saying anything against anybody because I've done it myself, amen. You know what I'm saying? I've been through my disobedience. I've been down this old road of going down to the doctor and had to get put on nerve medicine because you can't handle what was it coming at you. But it was the handwriting. It was the ordinance that was against me, honey. What was wrong with my life? And then I feared hell. Just like Brother Jason said, I feared and died and going to a devil's hell. Amen. I don't know about you all. But I do know one thing. When the Lord got hold of me and he saved me and he washed me and cleaned me, if you look over there in the book of Colossians, amen, I want to get, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to let the Lord use me. I'm trying to get where I can get through a message without just, throwing it down and quitting. I'm trying to get through. There's just so much knowledge in this book right here. I get tangled up and I get twisted up. But over in the book of Colossians, I'm going to read this right here because this right here means a lot to this Lord. Amen. Colossians 2 over chapter 14, verse 14. This right here is what he's done for me. This is what the Lord done for me. Blotting out the handwriting of the ordinance that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. Amen. Amen. There is salvation. What was wrote against me, because over the book of Proverbs, the Bible tells us that the eyes of the Lord are in every place. Yes, sir. Beholding the good and the evil. Amen. In every place we go to do this work. Everything, every day, when we lay our head down, the Lord knows what we're thinking. That's right. He knows what we're thinking when He knows what we're doing. He knows exactly what's going through our minds, and our thoughts, and our actions. Yesterday, I was working on the tractor yesterday, and a guy, like a lot of the old men, he's probably one of the most moral and respectable men. He's lost and dying and going to hell. But you know what the man said? He said, I ain't seen you down here in a long time. I got to tell him about the Lord, calling me to preach, and tell him how I turned my life around and what God was to do for me. Yeah. And you know what the man sitting there saying? I stand right here behind this sacred desk right now. The man looked at me and he said, Keith, he said, you do me one favor. He said, you live what you preach. Yeah. He said, you live what you preach. I said, I'm going to do my best to live what I preach. I said, that's one of the things I would not do like at work. I didn't want to go and boast and tell nobody that I made it right the Lord. Because I wanted people to see the difference of what the Lord can do for you in your life. Yes, sir. And that's what I want people to see. That's good, Daddy. That's good. But he said, Keith, he said, why would I go down to the church house? And I don't know exactly where he lives. And I don't know, but he said, I got a girlfriend that comes and stays with me night after night. Come and they do things that's unseemly. You know what I'm talking about, amen? Yeah. Does the things that he knows, and he know what he had. The lost man had enough sense to tell me, he said, what I'm doing is wrong, and it will send me to hell because it is sin. Yeah. It is sin, and he knows it. But he said, Keith, what I don't understand is how the woman that's coming up here doing these ungodly things with me got saved and baptized and still goes to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. Yeah. Still goes to church every day. Yeah. That's contrary. Yeah. It's contrary to the church. Yeah. It's contrary to our lives. It's not. And if the Lord don't have mercy on her, she'll let her eyes of hell and she leaves us over. That's right, Keith. I don't want nobody in here to die and go to hell. Me either. I would do anything in this world to see anybody to die and go to hell. I told my daughter this morning, I said, you very big in your life right with the Lord. She said, Daddy, you know I'm a pretty good kid. I said, honey, that don't matter. I said, if you're lost, I said, you will die and go to heaven. That's right. It don't matter how good of a person you are. It don't matter what you do, unless you've got ordinances that was written against you And if they ain't under the blood and nailed to the cross and he was crucified on it, you'll die and go to hell. You'll die and go to hell. I love each and every one of them. And I'm coming to a close here. Over in the book of Revelations, Revelation 20, verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and heaven fled away. And there was found no place for them. I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And the death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, which is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. It's not. It ain't no fun and games. It ain't no joke. We ain't up here. We're up here on business, up here with the Lord right now. And if there's anybody here that might need to pray and get something other back under the blood, if they's got something other, if a Lord was to come down right now, with his finger and write down up here on something up here on the wall, we ain't like Brother Jacob said. We ain't none of us in here perfect. Absolutely not. I have to beg and ask God to forgive me every day because I fall short. But I'm not going to go out here and deliberately live like him and try to live a Christian life. I'm not going to. Absolutely not. But if y'all got anything in your life, you better get back to come up here and get it underneath the blood and get it under and have it nailed to the old rugged cross. Amen. I love each and every one of them. Amen. Thank y'all for having me.